recording.
Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Curran, and I'm here with Brittney. How are you doing tonight, Brittney?
I'm doing fantastic, Matt. Thanks so much for taking time on this beautiful Halloween night to interview me.
Well, it's not beautiful here. It's raining. It's raining really hard, so we've had zero trick-or-treaters because, unfortunately, they can't even get out of the house and go.
Yeah.
I know you rescheduled. Y'all had a reschedule?
Yeah, it's going on Saturday now, but which is funny because it's not even raining right now. And my kids are like, Mom, are you sure? Like, you didn't just lie to us and, like, you didn't want us to go trick-or-treating? And I'm like, I'm sure.
That's right. So, Mom, let's talk about it. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Okay. Well, as Matt said, my name is Brittney. I'm a mother. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I do marketing. So I'm a marketing director, have my own company, and I also am a Muay Thai fighter. So within the past 2 years, I discovered this new passion of mine, which is martial arts.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to get into health and fitness. We're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to really connect to you being a fighter. So Brittney is also a big part of Convene. She's our marketing director, basically. And so she's really helping us make great things happen. But I love how you have a passion for your family. You have a passion as a parent, and you're a fighter, which is really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I wouldn't be the person I am today without my children, without my family, without my husband. I know a lot of people say that, but truly my life didn't begin until I had children. I found this new inspiration for health, through wellness, and physical fitness. So prior to having children, I was always active, did team sports in high school, but I wasn't like the rock star, I was always just kind of blended in the background. Sometimes I sat the bench, but I always was busy. Yeah. But after I had kids, I really had this like epiphany, like, oh my gosh, like I want to be able to keep up with them. I want to be able to be mobile, and I want to be feeling just as good at 40 as I did when I was 17. Yeah. So I really got into fitness, started with group fitness, and it almost became an addiction for me. I loved the way it felt. It felt empowering, and I noticed my stamina increasing and overall confidence of being a mother and just being able to keep up with my children. So, kind of fast forward a little bit after being involved in fitness, I found my way into a martial arts gym, and the light bulbs came on, and it just made sense. I felt like I was home.
Yeah, and you don't look like the typical fighter, but you're 1-0.
Want to know.
That's right. So you won your first fight in a ring. Talk a little bit about that. What was that like? What was that like, going into the ring for your first fight?
Oh, man. It was an amazing experience overall. So in that time in my life, so this was about like 6-8 months ago, back in April. So there was a lot going on. So my husband just actually was recovering from a traumatic heart incident. He was life flighted. He was admitted in the hospital for a few weeks. So that was a really hard time for our family. And all the while, I'm preparing for my first fight. So here my husband is fighting for his life, and I'm physically preparing to fight another human being in the ring. So there was a lot of challenges that happened during that time. There was also other opportunities within like my work schedule too that came up. So I really had to find the discipline to dig deep and find that balance between my family, my work life, and training for this fight. But every process of the way, I already felt like I was winning because I committed to something that was bigger than myself. I committed to becoming stronger, not only physically, but mentally. So the whole entire process, just stretched me beyond belief. Like I've never been stretched before. And then that moment you get into the ring, it's just everything just melts away and the lights are flashing and all eyes are on you, and it's like, okay, this is go time, and everything that you prepare to put in, you just got to trust it. And that's really when your instincts kick in. And I feel like in your daily routine, you don't really use your intuition or your instincts a lot. You kind of can get caught up in that hypnotic rhythm of life, like wake up, go to work, take care of the kids, repeat, repeat, repeat. But whenever you step in that ring, it's like okay, this is life or death. That's
Yeah.
what your body's telling you. So
Yeah.
you just gotta trust that animal instinct that you have and just put it all on the line. And you are experiencing the moment like you've never experienced a moment before.
Yeah.
And then once you get that victory, it's like,
Yeah.
my husband was in my corner, so it was a surreal experience for him, for me, and it worked out. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, two things. First, we love your husband. I love Jamil. Jamil's a big part of Convene too. He runs the music community, so he'll be on future interviews after you watch this one. Just wait, because in the next few days you'll see Jamil, because I'm going to interview him. But two, you dominated that fight, and I know that I talked to Jamil afterwards. You were in there fighting, but he was more nervous than you were.
Yeah. Yes, he was. I could tell he was so nervous, and he was like, fumbling a little bit beforehand. And like, I come out of the first round and I just feel euphoric, and I'm laughing, and I'm like in my head, my coach, I'm like, this is so much fun. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like shut up. Like you got two more rounds to go, So, and my coach is that blunt type personality where he's like, if you're not doing very well, he'll be like, yeah, you suck. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I'm that type of person. I need that because I don't need motivated. I feel like I can self-motivate me. So I just need somebody to straight up tell me if I'm doing good, if I'm not doing good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool. And I think after the first round, Jamel calmed down a little bit. His jitters kind of took out. Like once he's seen that I had it under control, he was like, okay, it's
Yeah.
fine now.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's a husband, so you're his wife, and you're in the ring. So
Yeah, but it's common. I feel like you see it nowadays. A lot of female fighters have their husbands in their corner. A lot of them even train with them. I know one of the fighters that I follow, her name is Michelle Watterson, known as the Karate Hottie, but her husband, he was a champion in boxing, but he gave his entire career up to watch her pursue her dreams, and he's her training partner. He's in her corner. So I feel like nowadays that's pretty common to see that.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, let's dive deep into a topic, and the topic is going to be discipline versus habits.
Yeah.
And this is really relevant to you right now because you're preparing for your second fight in December. So you're in that training mode. You've had some things pop up, and so you're really getting ready to kick it back in. So let's kind of kick in. Let's talk about why understanding and having discipline is just as important and different from habits. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So I am preparing for my second fight. I'll have a fight on December 21st in Pittsburgh, PA, and the dynamics are just going to be completely different. I'm in a different workspace, work environment, home life is completely different. So the schedule is going to look different, and it's going to kind of pull some of my habits away from me, and that's where discipline's going to kick in. So a lot of people think they're a disciplined person if they go to the gym every single day. They're a disciplined person if they can say, no, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm used to doing. But really, you got to analyze that and what's a habit and what's discipline. So I was talking to you prior before we hopped on here, and I had a small injury. I actually twisted my ankle, but running the other day, nothing huge. But I really wanted to keep going to the gym, and I kind of stopped, and I was like, you know what? That's not being very disciplined of me. I need to listen to my body and know like when I need to rest and when the times I can't rest. But the habit part of me just wanted to keep going with the hypnotic flow that I had with going to the gym at my set time every day and doing this and doing that. And I noticed it was kind of like, pulling on me a little bit to not go to the gym and not perform the duties that I was typically performing. And now as I'm switching up my schedule, I'm feeling that feeling a lot more. And I feel like it's growing my disciplinary, actions. So before like my first fight, I had way more freedom and flexibility. And I was able to kind of train when I wanted to at any point in the day. So the discipline there was just like get it and put the work in and just keep it moving. Well, now like at this time, the holidays are coming up. We homeschool our children. So the structure is a little bit different. So I got to pick and choose like what days that I can actually go in and put in the work and what days I need to have that time with my family as well too, and step in and have that role. Not that I didn't before, but like I said, the schedule was a little bit more flexible. So just having that discipline in my life to create boundaries, to create balance, so everything flows. And balance is a huge part of discipline as well too, because like I said earlier, it's so easy to just continuously do the same thing repeatedly. And that's when habits kick in, which habits aren't a bad thing. Habits are a great thing to have. It's good to have strong habits where, you know, you're eating the right things and you get in that rhythm where you know that you can't cheat on these days. But just having that discipline to listen to yourself and make adjustments whenever you need to make adjustments. And also when things pop up, having that discipline to push through it and not let things get in the way.
Well, if you talk about your injury, right, your ankle injury, you had to show some discipline, because if you kept going and you didn't take the break and you exacerbated that, that's going to affect your training leading up to the fight. And it might even make your ankle worse, where having that discipline just to hold off and let it heal before you get back in there, before you really get busy, because you're getting ready to have to pick up your work rate, right, and work really hard. And so that's important. So talk about that just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really important to just being able to listen to yourself and your own body and just really kick in your intuition, which I feel like it's hard for us. There's so much noise going on every day. People who have families, people who have busy work schedules, and everything just seems so rushed nowadays. It's go, go, go constantly, that we don't create discipline to listen to our own bodies, to listen to what we actually need. So you were talking about my ankle. If I didn't rest, if I didn't take these couple days to just kind of slow down and just observe and just listen to my body and take the time that I needed when I had the chance to, because things are going to kick up in the next few weeks, I mean, I could have potentially really, really injured myself. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't hear what their body's telling you, and that plays directly in with health, not just physical injuries, but internal health as well too. Say you feel a scratchiness in your throat. Oh, no, that's nothing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep eating the same foods that I'm going to eat. You start feeling different pains here and there. Your stomach hurts one day and then it doesn't, so on and so forth. These little symptoms are triggers to just like, they're indicators, like kind of like when your check engine light comes on, like, hey, like, there's something that you need to fix. There's something that you're not taking care of. And a lot of people push those symptoms behind until all of a sudden they're laying in bed and they have the flu. So there was indicators along the way that you could have stepped in, maybe you could have did a cleanse, took some vitamins, so on and so forth, drank some more water, that maybe would have shortened the illness, or prevented it altogether. But since we don't have the discipline to listen to ourselves and take that time, that quietness, because it takes discipline to be quiet and to be still and to move slow nowadays. That's really hard. So just being able to control that, and then with that discipline, you can create healthy habits. So they go hand in hand.
So, well, talk about that a little bit more, because you just said something. I like the way you said it. If you're disciplined, you can create healthy habits.
Yeah, absolutely. So creating habits, it's not like you're just going to wake up one day and be like, all right, I got this habit to, start my diet or start my healthy living or start going to the gym. It's going to be hard those first couple weeks. They say 21 days make a habit, but you got to be disciplined enough to know, like, I need to go to the gym this day and then I'll rest this day. Don't go gun-ho and just, completely like kill your body by not listening to it. If you're going to the gym, 7 days a week, whenever you started at 0, you got to build up that tolerance. So having that discipline to build up that tolerance for, whatever exercise routine you're going to go into. Or if you're creating a new lifestyle with your eating, don't just cut everything out at once go cold turkey, I feel like your body's going to go into a fight or flight mode because it's so reliant on this, habit that you were eating before, that it's going to shut down. So just, creating healthy habits by having the discipline to know when is the good time to go and when is a good time to stop, and also being consistent as well too. So if you need to go to the gym 3 days a week to get your end result, create that discipline so you can have that habit of going to the gym 3 days a week. So that's where they kind of play hand in hand. You got to get that foot in the door first and just control your feelings and your emotions and your balance in your life with that discipline to create those habits long term.
Yeah. So one of the other health, Stephanie, the health and fitness experience that was, I think, a day 2 or 3, but she talks about accountability and incentives. Mm-hmm. And I think accountability and incentives play hand in hand with discipline and habits. Mm-hmm. You have to have some accountability to yourself to maintain that discipline. And you have to have incentives, something to reach out there and have a goal at the end. And for you, your goal is in the ring, your goal is to get to the fight, So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree 100%. You got to be accountable to yourself first and foremost. You already won if you showed up for the day. Mm-hmm. So showing up is 90% of the battle. And then, try not to just go through the motions, but there's going to be some days where you just do need to just go through the motions to create, that habit and to have that discipline. But, show up, and whenever you do show up, try your best to just throw whatever is going on out the window and just give it 100%, whether you're showing up to your job, whether you're showing up to the gym, whether you're showing up as a parent as well too. That's one thing with discipline and balance that I found being a mother is that, they don't know what's going on. They know I'm a fighter. They know I go to the gym. They know that I work hard. They know that, I'm working, mommy's doing whatever she's doing, but they don't know how I'm physically feeling. And frankly, they don't care. They're in their selfish mode, and that's totally fine, as they should be. They're children. So whenever I come home, I got to show up. I got to be accountable to them, and I still got to perform as a mother. I can't be sloughing around and be like, oh, mommy's too tired to do this or too tired to do that. You just gotta suck it up and just be a mom and play with them and have fun, because the next day you're going to be in the gym putting in work there too. So I don't take being a mother lightly, just like I don't take being a fighter lightly. So wherever I'm showing up at, I got to perform 110%, regardless of the circumstances. And that's having discipline and creating those boundaries and having accountability for the role that you're currently playing.
Yeah, I love that you said show up, because you got to show up. You need to show up as a husband and a wife, as a parent. You have to show up, in so many different things that you have to do, and it's up to you. It's so easy to check out and not show up.
Yeah. And by checking out, not even like, oh, I'm gone, I'm leaving the house. Like checking out, like you can mentally check out, but physically still be here. Yeah. And you can literally zone out and not be present. And like you said, showing up for whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing it, and just try to be in the present moment. And I feel like that's really, really hard for people nowadays, especially with all the distractions, social media being the number one distraction. I mean, it's hard to come home and have this noise right in front of you, but you just got to shut it off. Like, it's not fair to my family for me to have my phone in my face after, being at the gym or being at work or whatever I'm doing. Like, you got to unplug and just connect with whatever you're dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely. So discipline and habits, like we're talking about, it's not just in the health and fitness world. It's in everyday life. It's, your family and marriage and that work-life balance. So that's perfect. So how do you do it? If you were giving somebody, advice, let's ask, tell people, let's give them some action items. How do you do it? What did Brittney do? How did you do it? How did you become focused? How did you do it? And then how would you tell somebody to do it?
You know what, Matt? It started with a decision.
Yeah.
It started with a choice. So that's one thing that me and you and everybody else have in common. We have choices that we can make and decisions that we make every single day.
Yeah.
So really, it's up for you to decide if you want to show up. It's really up to you to decide if you want to be disciplined, if you want to be accountable, if you want to be consistent. A lot of times you don't see action with people because they've never committed to anything.
Yeah.
They kind of just float out there. They just ghost out there, you know. Maybe they got hired for a job, but they might not have committed to the job, you know, mentally. So really, I'm having that checklist within myself. Like, did I sign up for this? Yes. Check it off. I already made the decision to be a mom, so I'm going to be a mom.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget about those decisions as well, too. So just holding yourself accountable for your decisions that you make every single day.
Yeah. I love how you talk about your kids. I do, because, you know, me and you have become friends, and, you know, with your Jamil, and I see that your kids are you guys' life, and you know that I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Braden, Megan, and Lainey, they are my life, you know, and along with Tisha. And it is family first, and that is so important. And
it is, and it takes everybody.
It does.
To make it work. I mean, Jamel, he has taken on the primary role of homeschooling our children, and that is huge. I mean, any teachers that are listening to this, like, they know how hard it is, but to be at home with your kids basically 24/7 and to teach them, and to be able to switch on those hats on and off, like 1 minute I'm a teacher, then I'm an entertainer, and then, you know, you're their father. That's extremely hard. All the while he's pursuing his ambitions as well too, and supporting me as a fighter, as a working mother. It's just incredible. And it goes back to discipline. So he has to be disciplined enough to play all of those roles. He has to be disciplined enough to create those habits in the structure in the house with the kids. It's like, it's study time, it's break time, it's lunchtime, it's playtime. Yeah. So discipline runs, you know, thick and thin through our house, and creates that structure and that accountability for everybody.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love it. Well, Brittney, thank you so much. And, you know, we'll have this experience out. This will be one of many. We'll continue I'll have you on for multiple in this 30 days, as well as Jamil. But it will also be watching you getting ready for your fight. So that's exciting.
Perfect. Yep. Tune in December 21st.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, PA. And, you know, follow me at Convene on the health and fitness page. I'm going to document my fight training, and you're going to see how disciplined I actually can be and stay consistent. So tune in and, you know, follow along.
Yeah, that's right. It's exciting. We're all there rooting for you. We'll be putting it out on Convene just like we did last time. And so it's really exciting to watch. It's really cool. You're an inspiration. Jamil's an inspiration to me. And I appreciate you being a big part of Convene. It's awesome.
Thank you so much, Matt, for having me.
Yeah, thank you.